Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Sunday. As we head into the first half of the upcoming work week, our temperatures will be staying in that cool and comfortable category. There will be a little bit more cloud cover than usual for your Monday, all thanks to a cold front located just off of our coastline, and that will keep our temperatures in the cool and comfortable category. On the bright side, there is much more sunshine all in the way, all thanks to a ridge of high pressure that will build in towards the middle and end of the work week. A ridge of high pressure will build in, and that will also lead to very little to no rain. Always remember, a ridge of high pressure is going to make that air sink and not allow it to evaporate into the atmosphere to form any rain or storms, and that's why little to no rain is going to be in the forecast. Now, don't let this be an alarm to you, considering that there are two different areas to watch out for in the tropics. None of these are any threats to the United States. Obviously, they could become threats down the line, but it's still way too early to know. More on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Once again, a little bit more cloud cover is in the forecast for the first day of the upcoming work week. On the bright side, our temperatures will be staying in that cool and comfortable category, only topping out in the low to mid 60s with our winds out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On the bright side, much more sunshine is in the forecast for your Tuesday. Look for those afternoon highs to top out in the mid to upper 60s. A very nice and comfortable day, to say the least. A perfect day to get outdoors and play any sports, or just spend out time outdoors and enjoy this nice fall weather that we will be having. Winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Our temperatures will struggle to get out of the low to mid 60s for your Monday and Tuesday before that ridge of high pressure does come into our area Wednesday through Friday, making our temperatures climb back up into the upper 70s and lower 80s Wednesday through Friday. But there is another cool down on the way. Overnight on Friday, there's a cold front coming through our area, and that will make the temperatures go from the 80s on Friday down into the low 70s all throughout this upcoming weekend, and even into next week as well. So we started out cool for Monday and Tuesday. We warm back up Wednesday through Friday, and then another cool down comes into our area overnight on Friday, and that cools us down all the way throughout the upcoming weekend and even into next week as well. Here's a look at what's going on in the tropics. This first tropical wave is a pretty decent tropical wave located just now to the north of South America. It only has about a 20 to 30% chance of becoming a named storm as it heads into the Caribbean Sea, and the reason for that is because there's a lot of dust coming off of the Saharan desert, and that'll dry up any moisture that is in the atmosphere that could lead to this thing becoming a named storm. Bottom line, even if this thing did become a named storm, it has at least a week, if not longer, to get towards the United States. So we have plenty of time to watch it. And at this point in time, it is no threat to the United States at all. The second area I'm watching out for is this tropical wave located just now to the south and west of the western coast of Africa. And while it does have a pretty decent chance of becoming a named storm, all forecast models show that it'll head way out into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and is not any threat to anybody at all. As you all know, we just saw Hurricane Ian devastate portions of Florida last week. So if any of these disturbances did get a name, the next name on the list will be Julia. Here's your 10-day forecast along the Grand Strand. As I mentioned earlier, those temperatures will struggle to get out of the mid to upper 60s for your Monday and Tuesday. We do see those temperatures climb back into the 70s and 80s for your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with hardly any cloud cover for your Tuesday and Wednesday. We do have our next cold front come through overnight this upcoming Friday, and that will bump our temperatures down into the low 70s all throughout the rest of the weekend and even into next week as well. Hardly any rain is in the forecast, and look for those overnight lows to drop down into the 50s. Here's your forecast as you head further inland. Mid to upper 60s for your Monday and Tuesday. Then we do bump back into the 70s and 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Our next cold front comes through overnight on Friday, bumping our temperatures back down into the low 70s. Hardly any rain is in the forecast, and overnight lows will drop down into the upper 40s and lower 50s. Keep it here at Leaves Weather for all the latest information.